Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. In our previous lecture, we talked about models. Today, we will discuss some more models. First, I will tell you about the use of shall. Shall indicate future and is used to express future prediction. Okay, another important use, shall is used with first person, I and we. And now I will tell you certain examples. I shall play. I shall not play. This is an I shall play. This is an affirmative sentence. Affirmative sentence actually indicates a positive sense. I shall not play. This is a negative sentence. Uh, Negative sentence indicate a negative sense. Shall I play? Here it's an interrogative sentence. How shall I play? Here question by WH family. My dear students, here I will tell you certain rules for will and shall. My dear students, will, I told you that will is used with second and third person. Second person you, and third person he, she, it and they. And shall is used generally with first person, I and we. But my dear students, in case of this is applicable in case of normal prediction. Here I will tell you that what is normal prediction. Normal prediction means for questioning like offer, request, and for future. This will is used with second and third person, and shall is used with first person. Okay, my dear students, in case of strong prediction, what do you mean by strong prediction? Strong prediction means command, advice, promise, threat, decision. The order is reversed. Here will is used with first person and shall is used with second and third person. That's you, he, she, it and they. Okay, my dear students, you have to remember this important difference between will and shall. Now let us move towards should. Dear students, should is the past form of shall. Okay, what it expresses? It expresses advice, suggestion, inference. Inference means conclusion drawn on the basis of certain evidences, duty or obligation. Obligation means duty. Here I will give you certain examples. They should do work. This is an affirmative sentence. I told you that affirmative sentence indicates a positive sense. They should not do work. This is a negative sentence. Negative sentence means that has a negative sense. Should they work? Should they do work? It's an interrogative sentence. And WH family question, why should they do work? Okay, this one important use. Another important use, I told you that should expresses advice. For example, you should reach school in time. He should take guidance. This is a suggestion. Here we use the modal should. I should have become a doctor by this time. This is an inference, conclusion drawn on the basis of certain evidences. You should take care of your parents. This is a duty. This is an obligation. Okay, now it was all about should. Now let's move towards the modal must. It expresses obligation, duty, necessity, certainly that something is true. Necessity and certainly that something is true. Look here, these examples. They must do work. Affirmative sentence. They must not do work. Negative sentence. Must they do work? Interrogative sentence. And question by WH family. Why must they do work? Okay, this is one example. Another, you must obey the law. This is an obligation. Okay, strictly you have to follow the laws. You have to obey the law. This is an obligation. So here we use must. It must be dark outside. I told you that should is also used with certainly that something is true. That's why I used here must. Must. It must be dark outside. Certainly that something is true. There we use must. You must go to the doctor as you are ill. This is a necessity. You have to go, you must go to the doctor as you are ill. This is a necessity. That's why we use a must here. This is very easy. Now let's move towards may. The modal verb may. May expresses possibility, but in case of may, it is only 50% possibility, but in case of can, the possibility is 90 to 100%. So it is also used for formal permission and wish. Now I will give you some examples. He may come home. There is a possibility 50% chances that he may come home. That's why we use it here may, because I told you, my dear students, that only 50% for only 50% possibility we have to use may. Then another example, may I go home. This is a formal permission. That's why we use it the modal verb may. You may go now. Okay, interrogative sentence. May God bless him. This is a wish. Okay, sorry, note of exclamation. Okay, this is a wish that we used here, may. Okay, now let's move towards another model verb, might. It expresses possibility. It is very low possibility. It shows very less possibility, 15 to 20%. That's it's used for doubtful situations where we have doubt. There we use the model verb might. For example, he might come home. It's a doubtful situation. Okay, and possibility is only 15 to 20%. Okay, your purse might be in the living room. Your purse might be in the living room. This is a doubtful situation. That's why we use the modal verb might here. He said he might change his mind. Past form of may has been used here, might. Okay, now let's move towards another modal verb, ought to. Ought to expresses obligation, zimmedari or duty. For example, I ought to read. Okay, I ought not to read. Negative sentence. Affirmative sentence. Negative sentence. Ought I to read? Ought I to read? This is an interrogative sentence. Why ought I to read? This is a question starting with WH family. This is very easy. Okay, now let's move towards another modal verb, dare. Dare is used as a semi-modal verb. Semi-modal verb, because it is used as a main verb and as a modal verb. It is used as both as a main verb. Sometimes it is used as a main verb and sometimes it is used as a modal verb. Dear students, dare expresses, what do you mean by dare? It means be bold enough to, जुरत करना, हिम्मत दिखाना. ठीक है, be bold enough to. Examples: how dare you speak to me like that? How dare you speak to me like that? Okay, how dare you contradict me? So it means be bold enough to. Now, need. Need is another modal verb. This is also a semi-modal. What is a semi-modal? Semi-modal means it can be used as a main verb and as a modal verb. Need expresses necessity, obligation, duty, and compulsion. Okay, examples: you need my guidance. This is a necessity. The parents need support. This is an obligation. This is a duty. They need tickets to travel by train. This is a compulsion because they need tickets. ये ज़रूरी है. They need tickets to travel by train. Here, my dear students, I will tell you certain important things about dare and need, because I told you that these are actually semi-modal. Sometimes they can be used as main verbs and sometimes they can be used as modal verbs. Now I will tell you certain important differences when we can use them as main verbs and when we can use them as modal verbs. Okay, look here, my dear students. There is use of to with dare or need when used as a main verb. So when you will use dare or need as a main verb, you have to use to. Okay, with them, dare to or need to. There is no use of to with dare or need when used as a modal verb. But when these are used as modal verbs, there is no use of to. Another, dare or need can be used in affirmative. Affirmative means indicates a positive sense, sentences that indicate a positive sense, negative that indicate a negative sense, and interrogative sentences are those sentences that also questions. Okay, when these are used as main verbs, they can be used as affirmative, negative, or interrogative sentences. But in case of when we use this dare or need, it is dare or need as modal verbs, they can be only used as negative or interrogative sentences, used in these sentences. Now another important point here, dare and need as a main verb can be used in present, past or future tense. अगर हम इनको main verb if we will use them as main verbs, they can be used in present tense, past tense or future tense. But अगर हम इनको modal verb के तौर इस्तेमाल करेंगे, then they can be used only in present tense. Okay, now look here examples, my dear students. Dare and need as modal verbs, as main verbs. In affirmative sentences, I told you that in case when we use them as modal verbs, no affirmative sentences are possible. ठीक है, affirmative, he dares to play. मैंने आपको बोला that when we use them as main verb, we have to follow them with to. Okay, he dares to play. The negative sentence, he does not dare to play. यहाँ से when we use them as modal verb, he dare not to play, क्योंकि हमें इसको we have not to follow this with to. Okay, it's followed with, यहाँ से followed with by to. Okay, then interrogative cases, does he dare to play? Okay, in case of when we use dare as modal verb, dare he play. note of interrogation. My dear students, I will tell you about now would. Would is the past of will. It's used for past habitus, expresses past habitus, request, possibility, choice, and offer. And it is also used to express wish, but when it's followed by like to. My dear students, look here. Examples in case of past habitus, he would go to school daily. वो रोजाना स्कूल जाता था. वो रोजाना स्कूल जाता था. So it indicates a past habit. He would not go to school daily. वो रोजाना स्कूल नहीं जाता था. Okay, would he go to school daily? क्या वो रोजाना स्कूल जाता था? How would he go to school daily? वो रोजाना स्कूल कैसे जाता था? So in case of past habits, we use would like this. Like my dear student, this is an affirmative sentence. This is a negative sentence. This is an interrogative sentence, and this is question by WH family. Another, would you help me? In case of requests, we use would. Okay, in case of possibility, but maximum possibility, I told you that only can shows maximum possibility. It shows about 90 to 90 90 to 100% of possibility. So I would go to school. There is a possibility, but it's not sure that whether he will go to school or not. Okay, what would you choose? In case of choices, we use would. Modal verb, would you play with me? In case of offers, we also use the modal verb would. Okay, another example. I told you that in case of wishes we use modal verb would, but it's followed by like to. I would like to play. This is wish. My dear students, we can also use another modal verb used to instead of would in past habits. Only in case of past habits, not in present tense. We can use modal verb used to in case of would instead of would. I will give you example how. Look here, my dear students. He will, look here, he would go to school daily, or he used to go to school daily. These are one and the same, because I told you that in case of past in case of past tense we can use would or used to. This is one and the same case. He would go to school daily, he used to go to school daily, meaning is same. Okay, my dear students, this was all about today. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Assalamu alaikum.